Now it's my honor to introduce our speaker for tonight. Dr. Regina Lewis is an international consultant, executive coach, and CEO of Regina Speaking LLC, specializing in leadership, organizational communication, and cultural inclusion. A Air Force veteran and professor emerita, she has worked with global leaders and Fortune 500 companies and is recognized for her award-winning work in diversity and inclusion. Families, please join me in welcoming Dr. Regina Lewis.
Today, what we're going to be talking about is really about your health and what is the approach that we take to doing this type of, I don't know, self care for ourselves. How many of you are trying to get healthier? How many of you are trying to get healthier? Raise your hand or do the little emoji or something. Oh, absolutely. So, does anybody want to unmute themselves and either talk about a challenge that they have with it or something that they're doing that they feel really does help? And you'll have to keep your eye on it, Anna, because I can only see a couple of people's faces.
It's Diana here. I was going to say, I know most of the things that I need to do, but the busyness of caring for three teenagers and a couple of senior citizens and life just kind of gets in the way of the things that I know I need to do and want to do. Um,
Hmm.
and so that's kind of where I'm at.
So Diana, like when you say things that I need to do or want to do, can you tell me a couple of those things?
Well, like I love to take my dog for a walk,
Hmm.
and I was getting in the habit of that. And then my 83-year-old father came to live with us this year, and he has dementia, and he's an amazing, wonderful person, but I can't leave him alone. And so, and he is not able to walk that far. So, trying to get out to walk the dog is a challenge. My husband and I are trying now when he gets home from work to take a walk because then the kids are home so that they can be with grandpa. Um, but we also have his 91-year-old mother to take care of, and so also cleaning and prepping veggies and making healthy foods takes some time, and we're on a pretty strict budget, so buying all the pre-cut things and frozen ones is makes it a challenge. But I know that those are all just things that I need to figure out how to work around so that I can do it because my mom died at 70 and I'm already 57 and I don't want to miss out what my kids are going to. And I don't want to miss the grandbabies when they come along and I want to be healthier. So I have some motivation. I just have to figure out those obstacles, like how do I get around them so that I can do the things that I know I need to do.
Absolutely. I definitely understand that. And all the things that you talked about are challenges, and I'm very familiar with a lot of those challenges. My mother, too, I was taking care of her, and she has slight dementia, and, getting out and walking, and it's just really, really complicated. So I definitely understand those challenges. Anyone
Yeah.
else? Anyone else? All right. Well,
So,
then I'm,
oh,
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh,
That'd
I
be
was just
together.
gonna say for us, yeah, it's similar to what Diane's going through. We take care of my mom. My dad passed away last October. Um, and so uh, groceries is a challenge at this point because everything is so expensive. It's like we do the best we can, and my son is growing teenager and he eats like a horse because he's playing football and basketball and doing all the things. So we can't keep enough food in the house to like so that's definitely a challenge. We tend to buy the things that are on sale that we can get the most for our money, and that's not usually the healthier stuff.
Mhm.
So that is definitely a challenge for us as well.
Well, the things that I'm going to be addressing today will those things will not be the problem for the most part. There are some things, but we will start looking at what can you do from where you are right now. Because when we think about, getting fit, getting healthy, we think about like this picture here with, all these fresh vegetables. And then we start trying it and we start eating that way. But how long can we really keep that up? Right? So what we end up seeing is that we go on this like yo-yo kind of situation where we go up and then we go back down, which you'll lose weight or you'll get more fit, but then we can't seem to keep it up, and then we're back to where we started. So I call that the yo-yo effect. And so when you think about, and just put it in the chat, if today I said, you know what, I can help you to get your fitness best, when would you want that? If I could guarantee you the actual date, when would that be? And put that in the chat. And Michelle, you can chime in at any time if there's anything before I go to the next slide.
Dr. Lewis, I wanted to tell you about your slide or your screen sharing. I
Yeah.
just see a black screen.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. All I see is just like a little white line across the black screen. That
Okay.
speaks for the health of it. So no slide.
Okay, let me try something else real quick. Share, optimize screen. And let's see. How about now?
Yes, now. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. All right. So we put
And
it in the,
Dr. Lewis,
uh-huh.
this is Sonia. I just wanted to share, I think I can really relate with what you're saying about, yes, we can do this and eat perfectly and do all the things for like a period of time. And then you kind of get exhausted. Like I have an autoimmune disease and I've gone years, doing intermittent fasting and eating perfectly and, keeping all the things, and my inflammation is still not where I want it to be. And I think that's the hardest thing is really how long is this sustainable and how can we make it somewhere to where it's like, okay, this is doable and I still feel good.
Absolutely. Well, you brought up a really important piece, and that is intermittent fasting. And so we're going to talk about that because it's like, how do you sustain this? I mean, here we go again, and is it real? Even for myself, it's like I go to so many different functions or I go to another country or another state, and people build relationships through food. And so they want you to taste their best whatever, and it's laden with sugar or it's got all these I don't know, carbs or whatever in it. And you don't want to say, no, no, I don't eat that, and I don't. I eat it. If I go on a cruise, I'm going to eat, I'm going to enjoy myself. And so these things are important. Michelle, were you going to add anything before I go on?
Yeah, so as we get further into it, some of the things that I've been hearing, one of the most important things are we have to meet ourselves where we are. A lot of us are trying to, follow a certain routine. We see, a perfect picture as we might see it, perfect body, a fit body, things that nature. We're not in a box. Everything doesn't work for everybody. So we have to meet ourselves where we are, where you are as an individual. So we'll talk about some more of that as we get more into it. You'll understand better what I'm saying.
Fantastic. So, you know what? We'll do whatever it is. Right. Check this out. They don't love you like I love you. Wait, they don't love you like I love you. It's hilarious that we will do anything to try to get where we really want to be. But here's the thing, if I had said, put in the chat, like when would that be? Could somebody look in the chat and tell me, what are some of the dates or times that's been in the chat?
Yeah, most of them say now, today, ASAP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so if I got you there, um, and you say, it's perfect, today it's perfect, what would you do tomorrow? What would you do tomorrow? And most people would say, I would keep doing what I was doing today that got me there. Well, if it was that simple, none of us would have challenges right now because we've already done some things, but for some reason we don't keep up with it. So instead, I want to turn the question to how old do you want to live to be? And what do you want to look like and feel like on that day? That's a totally different question. Think about it. Not thinking about how your parents look or how they feel, but how you want to live, how you want to look, how do you want to feel? So for me, like, I want to be a centenarian. My sister and I said we're going to be centenarians. That's people who live in their hundreds. So say I wanted to live to be 102 and I want to be independently, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually independent. All of that for me. I want to look good. I want to feel good. All of that. And bang, I die at 96. I still lived great and felt great all the way to that point. So, how do we change it from trying to reach a goal for today to really expanding it for our lifetime? And that's truly the key. Share with I want to share with you this person here. This is Ernestine Shepherd. She lives in Baltimore, Maryland. She was named one of the oldest bodybuilders champions in the world. And in this picture, she's 85 years old. When I went out and saw her, she was like, "Oh, darling, let's do some push-ups." And I was thinking, well, let me go easy on her. And, so we start doing push-ups. And when my arm started shaking, she looked at me and winked and put one arm behind her back and continued on. Blew my mind. I thought, this is incredible. And a lot of it has to do with her lifestyle. So it's not just the eating, it's not just the working out, it's a combination of things for sure.
And I just want to interject right there. We had the opportunity, like Regina mentioned, to meet Miss Ernestine Shepherd and learn about her history. She did not start until she was in her late 50s. So it's never too late to change your mindset and your mind shift to decide what you want to do and how you're going to do it. So I just want to let you know she didn't start it when she was in her teens, 20s, 30s. She was a couch potato for a long time. And she did say that her and her sister made a decision to get into bodybuilding in their late 50s. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Thank you so much. Because when I heard that, then I said, okay, then I need to try it. And so my sister was training me to do a bodybuilding competition. And so at age 50, I was Miss Colorado Natural. And it was an amazing journey. It was something that I said, I'm going to just go out and try to do. And that's what I did. But when you do competitions like this, you can't keep that. I mean, you could, but it's insane to keep it up like that. But it was a goal that I really wanted to reach, and she made sure that I reached it, which was really a lot of fun. So I want to tell you about this pine tree. This is the oldest tree, living tree. It's 4,853 years old. This thing is old. And if you think about it, if you go out here and you find out about trees, lots of trees live to be hundreds of years old. So, my question to you is, why is it that a tree can live for hundreds of years and humans, we're just trying our best to get to 100, if that's even possible? What do you think that is? Anybody can just unmute and answer that if you want. I know. It's like, huh? I'm not
No, it's worse. Well, I'm there to spend it. Yeah. Okay, be nice to me.
Jennifer. Oh, no. Oh, was it Jennifer's was unmuted? Somebody was unmuted. But anyway, well, let me tell you, there's something to this. It goes back to something that Sonia was talking about, and that's the intermittent fasting. So, a tree goes through all 4 seasons in one year: winter, spring, summer, and fall. But a human being, especially men, goes through a year, all 4 seasons, in 24 hours. So our body is going through something in 24 hours. Every 24 hours, we're going through winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter when you go to sleep, spring when you wake up, summer in the middle of the day, and fall as it starts to get the evening time. So there's certain things that we need to be thinking about during that time. So this is where you can make a difference and change a lot and you start to get fit, not because you went out and bought expensive food, not because you prepped food, because you had time, not because you went out for a walk. It's none of that. So I'm eliminating all of that just for this right here. So what happens is if you think about a tree or you think about a bear, what do they do when it's wintertime? They hibernate, right? They hibernate. And when they're in hibernation, guess what they don't do? They don't eat. So what should we be doing when it's nighttime? Not eating, sleeping. Right there, it's going to change something. And when it's springtime, that's when you wake up, when it first starts to be the crack of dawn. A lot of people, they think, wow, if I don't have to get up, or if it's a weekend, I'm just going to sleep in. But you're missing out on all that time of the morning can actually do for you. So you wake up at that time. When you go into spring, that means that all the energy, the nutrients, everything is starting to go into your body. So that's when it's important to eat your most nutrient dense foods, like eat pungent foods, onions, garlic, peppers, eat your proteins at that time, really focusing on those types of foods that is going to go into all parts of your body and work for you. But that has to be first thing in the morning. Now, some people say, I'm not a morning person. I don't eat in the morning. I get it. But here's the thing, you're missing out on these opportunities right here. Then you have summer. So the summer, you got to get outside, open the windows, something so that you can get that natural sunlight. It's almost like taking your phone and plugging it in halfway through the battery running out. So you plug it in at that time. And then when it becomes fall, that's like when it's starting to become evening. And if you notice, when we have like daylight saving time, then it starts to get darker quicker. So that is where you start slowing down. You eat something lighter, right? And then you are ready for bedtime, that winter time. Just don't eat at night. Just don't eat. So, Michelle, can you talk about the results or what has happened when you've done that?
Sure, absolutely. So, this is a very good analogy, especially for the intermittent fasting. So, I think that a majority of the people that do the intermittent fasting, they do what they call the 16-8, where you are fasting for 16 hours and then you have an 8-hour eating window. But they don't start eating until noon. And they feel like, oh, I have until, 12 to 8 to go ahead and eat. That's wonderful. Well, you're already fasting when you sleep. You're already fasting. So you're already putting in anywhere from, 5 to 8 to 9 hours of that fast already. When you wake up in the morning and you wait until noon, you're looking at another 6 to 8 hours that you haven't had any nutrition at all. Your brain is begging for some nutrition first thing in the morning. It has to have that. That's where your power comes in. You might feel very tired. It's like, oh gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, you need those nutrients first thing in the morning. So if you're going to intermittent fast, you have to switch it to where you're doing your eating period first thing when you get up.
Mhm.
And then you eat for those 8 hours. So there's nothing wrong with intermittent fasting. You just have to do it the right way so your body is really getting the nutrients that it needs. If you stop eating when the sun goes down, again, that's that hibernation period. Your body goes through periods of rejuvenating all the different organs in your body. You have to let it do its thing. When you disrupt that natural flow, when you eat late at night, or if you eat when the sun goes down, that cycle stops. It stops doing the digestion, it stops doing the cell rejuvenation, all those things get interrupted. And now you're laying on this food, it hasn't been digested, you're having a hard time sleeping at night, and the nutrients are not being absorbed properly. So that's why it's important when you get to the winter phase of your day, which is at night, you really need to stop eating anything, not even a light snack. You want a light snack in the fall period there. After dinner, if you want a light snack, say, I don't know, an hour or so after, that's fine. But when it's time for you to go to bed, no snacking, no eating. It's worked wonders for me to follow, I call it the sunrise and sunset method. And it's worked wonders for me. I've lost 60 pounds just by doing that. Not really restricting a lot of what I'm eating, just following this particular pattern, winter, spring, summer, fall.
So it is very powerful. So stop and think about that. Okay, we got a question. Shaquan.
So I have two questions. One, do you recommend the 16-8? So like from the time you wake up, those 8 hours? Because if we wake up early, then we're done eating about, like for me, it would be 5 a.m. to like 1 p.m. And then what would be a natural time for dinner?
Well, you can adjust it the way you see fit. When I do this for my intermittent fasting, it's just following the sunrise and sunset pattern. If you're going to follow the 16-8 and you wake up in the morning and you eat those first 8 hours, yes, you're going to have all those other hours afterwards that you don't eat, but your body will get used to that pattern. However, if you have family and you have, a husband or whoever goes to work and they're looking for dinner when they come home, then you yourself, if you're going to join your family, you're going to have to adjust that 16-8. I don't recommend the 16-8 later in the day, always in the morning, but you have to adjust it to where it works for you and your family. If you find that it's working for you and you're, dropping the weight or getting fit or whatever your goals are, then stick with that. Again, there's not a one size fits all solution when it comes to, excuse me, any type of wellness plan, especially with the intermittent fasting. So for you, just tell me one more time what time if you started eating in the morning, I don't know what time you get up. Um, can you kind of give me a time when you it's
Yeah, I'm usually up about 4:30 or 5 o'clock every morning.
okay?
I
All
do
right,
You start eating at 5?
We eat about 5:30 at night.
at
You eat
night.
about 5:30 at night, you said?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then like what time do you start eating in the morning?
Oh, I'm actually really terrible at eating, so I might eat once a day.
Right. And so that's not sustainable. And as we get older, we need these nutrients. And so trying to make sure that you eat these meals is really important. It plays a significant part. And then some people say, okay, well, then I'll just drink like juice something, or I'll eat a yogurt, or I'll, drink a shake or something. Your brain has to know what to do. And when we drink something, then those things are not turned on and it's not firing up. And so you got to chew. It's important to chew. Now, if you're eating a yogurt like right now, that's fine. You've already been chewing. It's already awakened. But really, it's important to eat these meals. It's not sustainable, and what you're doing is you're teaching your family how to eat too. They watch how you eat, and later in life, they're going to eat the same way.
And Shaquan, it's not a matter of you having to eat like a full meal when you first wake up because you wake up very early.
Yeah.
I would say start out with a little bit of protein, just something, go ahead and drink your coffee or your tea or whatever the case may be. When we say eat, we don't mean heavy breakfast, heavy snack, heavy lunch. You have to have something in your system so your brain can fire off the way it's supposed to. So just a little protein when you wake up. Don't know if you do coffee, have your coffee. As the day goes on, go ahead and add more food. If your family is used to eating at 5:30 in the afternoon, go ahead and still do your afternoon. Just still do your afternoon. You don't want to change too much of that routine. The important thing is you have to have something first thing in the morning when you get up. I'd say within 30 minutes to an hour after you get up.
Okay.
Okay. There was a question, I think it was Sonia, I saw it in the chat. How do we adjust that daytime, nighttime with Colorado? We have daylight savings as well. It's the same thing. You just follow the same clock. So it's not a matter of hours in the day. It's just when the sun rises and when the sun sets. So even if it's, that 10 hours or whatever, that's fine. That's fine. Just follow when the sun comes up and when the sun comes down. You can be in any country, any city, you just follow the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Shaquan, you said you had two questions.
Oh, I was just asking what a good time to eat dinner would be,
Mhm.
or what you guys would recommend.
It
Your
just
your 5:30 is fine. I wouldn't recommend you change the routine for your entire family. I my dinner is like at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I do my dinner. But some people work past that time. Understood. If I miss my meal and it's getting dark outside, shame on me. I just don't eat. Sometimes I go to bed starving, like, man, I should have paid more attention. I should have ate something. Um, and that's just the human side of me. So of course, when I get up the next morning, I'm starving like crazy. But you want to just get in the habit and a routine that works best for you and your family. Again, if 5:30 works for you, 5:30 is fine. Just don't lie down on that food or don't snack anymore. Don't eat anything else if you're going to be eating at that time because the sun's getting ready to go down or it's already down. We're already in daylight savings. So we turn the clocks back.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, I mean, these are just some things, and again, I never look so much at the clock. I look at the sky, and I look at what's going on. So that's just something to keep in mind. But Michelle's really good at saying, don't just up and flip everything because that might not be the best idea either. And so, here's the next question: Name a popular drink that promotes health. And I'm talking about in the Asian culture. Put that in the chat.
Well, we're doing that. I have a quick question about what we were just talking about. Oh, you're muted, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Mhm.
How do you navigate it when, like, your son is playing football, right? And he doesn't get home from a football game till sometimes 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and he hasn't eaten dinner yet, or he did eat before the game, but now he's starving to death again. So I know that window, that sun up to sundown, it's not always possible. I mean, I know I don't have to eat just because he's eating, but how do you navigate that if you're trying to get your whole family on a healthy cycle?
Michelle, do you want to go ahead and
Absolutely. So you said something very important. He's an athlete. He
Yes.
is trying, so I can't imagine, and I could be wrong. Maybe he does not at this point have any issues, with weight or anything like that.
No, he
So with him
doesn't.
playing football and everything, he's staying fit. Again, this is all about wellness. So for him and at his age and everything, he's going to metabolize that in the evening. Now, with that being said, yes, his digestion is going to be affected, not to where he's going to be ill or anything, because he's already been out there burning up most of it already. When you exercise and things like that, your body stays in that burn mode for a very, very long time. So when he eats, and I can imagine with him playing football, he probably eats quite a bit. Uh,
Yes.
he's burning it up. He's burning it up right away. So in his situation, it's fine. I don't
and
really
not
have to
only
worry
that, he's
about
going to
him.
follow you as he gets older, right? So when we say, Oh, you know what? It's hereditary. I have the same problems as my parents. Well, start looking at the behaviors of your parents and then start looking at, are your behaviors starting to mimic some of that that's creating some of those issues? So you're really teaching him, even though he's not doing that right now, you're teaching him what to do as he starts to get older as well.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. And then what is a good, just like a rule of thumb, if he does end up eating that late? Because I know, like for me, if I eat and then I go lay down right away, I feel really terrible. So if he's eating something, I mean, sometimes kind of heavy, sometimes not, just depends on how hungry he is. What is a good time frame to kind of wait to let that kind of settle before he should lay down and
Yeah.
go to sleep? Because
So,
he does sometimes get sour stomach if he
yeah,
eats late and then tries to go right to bed. So,
right. It depends on what he's eating. Meat, it takes 3 hours for meat to digest in your system.
oh wow. Okay.
Anything lighter than that, your salads, some of your breads, cereals, things like that, takes about 30 minutes, 30 to
Okay.
45 minutes. So it depends on what he's eating. Now, with that being said, if he's eating chicken or whatever you left for him, he may end up with those, disrupted stomach and things like that because the food has not digested and it doesn't have a
Okay.
chance to. So he's just lying down on something that may upset his stomach, but just know it's from what it is he's eating at that time.
Okay. Yeah, he keeps a bottle of Pepto next to his bed during football and basketball season. So,
Yeah.
okay. All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great that you're aware of that. And so, the most popular drink, let's see, did people put it in the chat? What are they saying in the chat?
I see tea, green tea, matcha, water, kombucha.
Nice, nice, nice. Those are usually the ones that we hear about, which, by the way, Michelle has an entire program. She has written a book. It'll be published here soon, but she'll be holding classes where you can go into a lot of details. She'll be doing things in the kitchen, teaching how to make fermented foods and kombucha and yogurts and all these different things. And so you'll hear about that at some point as well, that you could sign up. But let me tell you what the popular drink is. It's hot water. I drink hot water all day long. If I'm not drinking hot water, I'm drinking hot tea and with no sugar in it. But this is like a treat. I don't drink it all the time. Here's what hot water does. One, it aids in digestion. It improves the central nervous system. It relieves constipation, keeps you hydrated, weight loss, removes toxins, improves circulation, decreases stress and weight loss. So it does a lot of things. And you see, I mentioned weight loss twice because I was like, if that's what it can do, great. So why hot water? And I'm talking about just hot water. Well, there's something called the internal freeze. Our body temperature is 98.6 on average. But room temperature, think about in your room, wherever you are, that's between 68 and 71 is what the temperature typically is. Even in the wintertime, say you even got it to 80 degrees, it is still colder than your body temperature. And so your body has to work harder to bring whatever you've put inside your body to its temperature. So it's easier if what you are consuming is hotter than your body temperature. So I'm always thinking about that and what that actually looks like. They always say the rule of thumb is you use to go inside your body room temperature to hot, and outside your body room temperature to cold. That's what the rule of thumb is. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a glass of ice water. It's not good for us, but so every once in a while I'll have it, but I'll go room temperature or hotter. And if you come to my house and I said, "Would you like something to drink?" And you say, "Sure, what do you have?" I'm going to say, "I have hot water, cold water, ice water, room temperature water, sparkling water, and coconut water." I even stay away from the sparkling water as much as possible, but water, water, water is so important to you. So here's something else that you can do because, like it was mentioned earlier, I've got all these challenges, from cost of food to time to taking care of family to prep everything. And so these are some things that you can do. Stop working for your body, let your body work for you. It is already built for you. It already does certain things for you. And so there is some things I want you to think about, and I just want you to jot these down for yourself, or you could put it in the chat, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to ask the question: what time do you normally have your first bowel movement? Write that down. There's some people who say, well, it's not normal. I don't have a bowel movement for a couple days, right? Some people say, oh, probably around this time or that time, whatever the case may be. But write that down. And then what time do you have your first meal? And I'm talking on average, like most of the time. What time do you fall asleep at night? Not go to bed, but like your sleep. I must have been asleep by this time. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night? I'm talking about just to move around, you open your eyes for a second, or you're awake and then you go back to sleep. Or you get up, you go to the bathroom, or the dog has to go out, or there's always some kind of movement, and you might go back to sleep or you might not. But if you do, what time is that? And then what time do you wake up for the day? Like, what time do you typically get up? So Michelle's going to talk about the body clock just a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of detail to it, but we're already at 12:42, and we finished by 1 o'clock, and we still have to do a drawing and all that good stuff. But just to kind of touch bases with you.
Sure. So, and I'll make this quick. So this right here that you see on the screen right now, this is the TCM body clock, traditional Chinese medicine body clock. And Regina and I, we studied this, we've researched it, and we follow this, and it has really been helpful. So every single organ in your body has a certain amount of time to be at its most optimum best. During that time, that's when it's shedding cells, getting in new blood, rejuvenating itself, every single one of these organs. So, for instance, between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., that's when your heart is functioning at its best. It's blood circulation, high energy. This is when the best time to eat lunch. So, what happens is at any of these times, let's say, for instance, between the hours of 1 and 3, this is when your liver is functioning at its very best. Again, it's rejuvenating, it's doing all the things it's supposed to do. However, if you wake up between those times, any of these times, these 2 hour windows, your body is talking to you. Okay. I used to wake up every morning at 2 a.m. And it's like, I don't know why I'm awake. I went to bed early, blah, blah, blah. What's happening is my liver was trying to tell me, hey, I cannot rejuvenate fresh blood and do all the things I'm supposed to do because your liver is clogged up. You need a cleanse. Something needs to happen here. Now, not saying that you're ill, not saying that, oh my gosh, I got to go get a liver transplant, but it's being disrupted. It's for some reason. So I had to do a detox for my liver so that it could function the way it's supposed to. And now I don't wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Between the hours of 5 and 7, your large intestine is at its best. This is the best time to use the bathroom in the morning because your intestines are really, doing that squeeze, that pulsating. It's doing what it's supposed to do. That's the best time to go use the restroom to have that bowel movement. If it's not moving, that means you got some cleanup to do. So I'm just giving you a little bit of an example here of what this really means. This is a really good slide to have. It tells you what your body's doing at that time. And again, this is when it's the most optimal and the most functioning, okay? We can get into more of that. I'm going to be offering a class that explains more about this and how you can really get into it. But I just wanted to give you a little tidbit there so that we can move on.
Fantastic. So here's something else that you can do. Rubbing your stomach. Anybody hear of stomach rubbing before? Stomach rubbing is fantastic. It is a very simple step that you can do. Like when you lay down and you're ready to go to bed, then you can lightly place your fingertips on, like on your stomach. And you start at your belly button and then you go into a circular motion until you get all the way up to your cage and down to your groin area. Then you go backwards the other way until you make your way all the way back to your belly button. And you could just do this a couple of times each night. So there is some benefits to it, but that's your homework to pull up stomach rubbing and find out what's the benefits of stomach rubbing. So now what we want to do is go into what we call the secret six. Your body knows before your mind does. Your body is going to tell you certain things, and it's like an alarm, like, hey, you got inflammation here. Oh, you got a breakout here. Oh, your stomach is hurting here. Your back is hurting here. Oh, you've got a headache. It is trying to tell you something like, I'm dehydrated. I don't have enough protein. I've got too much sugar. Your body will tell you. I know when I eat popcorn, for some reason, right around my ribs itches. I don't know. It's just really weird, but I know. And I was like, okay, there's something about corn for me. And, I didn't notice it before because I love corn. I love popcorn. But when I take the time to really focus, I start to learn. My joints, oh my gosh, they burn at times when I eat sugar. So it's going to tell you some things. So we want to share with you the secret six. And we're going to go over these super quick. And then we're going to close it out with something that you can get right here in Colorado. So the secret six, the way we remember it is positive and knowledgeable actions lead to success. Positive and knowledgeable actions lead to success. So what does that really mean? So let's look at the P for pancreas, K for kidney, then you have the A for adrenal glands, your large intestines, your tongue, and your stomach, and understanding what those things do. So what I'd like for you all to do is either write these down or take this picture, because I'm going to skip over what they all do, but you should be able to understand, what does the pancreas do? And then what kinds of foods should you consume that will heal you, not kill you? So I'm going to show you just what the pancreas one does, and then I'm going to go ahead and skip forward. Okay, so does everybody have those? Pancreas, kidney, adrenal glands, large intestine, tongue, and stomach. Okay. So the way we have it here is the pancreas. This is where it's located. It breaks down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates while breaking down starches into sugar. And so the types of foods that really are good for your pancreas is garlic, spinach, green leafy vegetables, mushrooms, cherries, red grapes, broccoli, sweet potato. So that's what I want you to be looking for all of those areas. Okay. So I'm going to go all the way to the pink Himalayas right here. Let me see if it'll play. So this is something called Soleil. Even getting vitamins, we're like, okay, well, what vitamin should I take every day? Is this a good idea or whatever? So, understanding that you could do something as simple as this is really cool. So let's look at it here.
Welcome everyone, Dr. Mandel here. Drinking Himalayan salt water can do wonders for your body. There are so many health benefits, but drinking it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach is the key. There are 84 trace minerals in Himalayan salt, and since liquids are absorbed quicker than solids, these salts will increase the rate of absorption of these minerals, as this will give you a boosting amount of energy so you can enjoy your day. Himalayan salt can help bring your body back to a normal pH. It does so by helping to remove toxins from the body. Himalayan salt can improve your respiratory problems. This salt is an antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, which loosens excessive mucus and speeds up mucus clearance. This salt can help remove pathogens in the airways, such as pollen, or even decrease oversensitivity to allergies. Drinking Himalayan salt first thing in the morning will help stimulate peristalsis, or movement within the digestive system. This will help balance the stomach acid and support the production of digestive enzymes of the pancreas. And for those who are irregular or constipated, this can solve a lot of that problem. If you're having soreness and aching within your body, particularly those muscles, Himalayan salt can do wonders for you. These minerals can help combat cramped muscles. The Himalayan salt is a powerful detoxifier. When dissolved with water, this salt becomes an ionic solution that helps draw the toxins out of the skin and adipose tissues. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body needs to become more hydrated. Staying hydrated is important for maintaining the function of every system in your body, including your heart, brain, and muscles. These fluids carry nutrients to your cells, as well as flush out bacteria and other pathogens. The Himalayan salt provides the body with electrolytes, which regulates hydration. Some of the major electrolytes the salt provides include sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Millions of people worldwide are suffering with high blood pressure. Himalayan salts will help clear out the excessive sodium. Therefore, you won't retain as much water, and your heart will not have to work as hard. Decreasing the water retention will decrease the possibility of having high blood pressure. If you're feeling bloated and distended, these Himalayan salts will help you lose that extra fluid. It will take off pounds by stimulating the bowels and emptying the colon. This will remove those excess toxins of your body, making you feel rejuvenated and lighter. So if you've never tried Himalayan salt with water first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, give it a shot, and you will feel the difference. Please share this video with your friends and family. Leave your comments below, and most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandel.
So I went and got mine to,
I went and got mine too. That's what I was going to show you.
Oh, absolutely. And so this is definitely something that you can use, and it never spoils. You'll start to see some crystallization around your jar, and I just wash it off or whatever. But I use a teaspoon of this into a cup, and that's it. So, I mean, it saves money, right? I mean, these are things that we can do. We don't have to wait for the grocery store to lower their prices, for sure. So the last thing I want to show you is where else you can get like vitamins right here in Colorado, which is in Manitou Springs. Be careful, because I don't know about, like, I mean, I drink the water. I haven't had a problem, but I'm not going to say that they're, like, it might not, I don't know if it has something in it or whatever. So I would definitely check, but it's in Manitou Springs. Since 1871, people have been coming to Manitou Springs from all over the world, filling up their jugs to get what's called living water. The only time you can find living water is typically like inside of like an orange or something. When you cut it, it's living water until it starts to oxidize, right? So the other ways to get it is to go there and get living water. So living water, if you see here the things that it does, it's living water and spring water actually slows down oxidation. So think about oxidation like if you were to cut an apple and you just set it out and it starts to brown or whatever, that's from oxidation. And your body does the same thing, your skin does the same thing. And so it slows that down. And it also helps your body heal naturally and faster. So look at the different nutrients and minerals that you can get in those springs. Everything from calcium to zinc. So it just goes on and on and on. So you can imagine what a class would do. It's going to take days, weeks to learn a lot of this, but this is something that we've been studying for years. So I'm going to stop the presentation and open it up for any quick questions before I turn it back over. Anybody have any questions or comments? Oh, here we
I have a
go.
question.
Yes.
If you put the salt, how much salt should you put in there? Is there an ingredient of how much?
Yes. Go ahead. I thought
Because I
Michelle.
don't want to put too much in there because I have a little bit of high blood pressure. Not right now, but every now and again it comes.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure that the salt doesn't affect that. So I don't want to put too much of that. But I do have some of that salt at home already to make
I'm
some of
glad you
that
brought
water.
that up. So we use the coarse salt. If you don't have the coarse, if you just have the fine, that's fine. It really doesn't matter how much salt. And let me tell you about the Himalayan pink salt, your gray salt, and your sea salt. The reason why those don't affect your blood pressure is because they're minerals. They're just minerals. Your regular Morton white salt, it would be fine also if they didn't bleach the salt. It's the bleaching agents that's causing the high blood pressure. So your natural salts, you won't have that effect. So you're not going to be affected by that. So I would say you would just take a jar and to start out, go ahead if you just have your regular Himalayan pink salt, go ahead and put about a half a cup in the jar. Fill it with water, and then you have to let it set for 24 hours for it to be fully saturated. Then you start using it from there, and you just use that half a teaspoon to a teaspoon a day in a glass of water each day.
And they can use just the regular, or do they need the rock?
If they don't have, they can use regular. The rocks are better, the coarser the better, but the regular's fine. It's just going to dissolve in the water quicker.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Exactly. And so put it in room temperature water, hot water, cold water, it doesn't matter, just water. So I think that answered a couple
And you
questions.
just set it on your counter. You don't have to put it in the fridge or anything. And it just lasts forever. As it starts to dissipate, because water evaporates, just add more water to it.
So yes. And so when I put the rock salt in, I was gonna go get it, but don't have a lot of time. But I usually put like a third of the salt and then 2/3 fill it up with water. Make sure that you use a plastic lid, not a metal one, because it's electrolytes and everything. So you want to have a plastic lid, and then I use a plastic spoon or wooden spoon instead of a metal one.
My lid is cork,
Oh, okay, yes, yes, yes.
and I can show it to you. And my spoon is bamboo.
I think that's even way better than plastic.
So this is my. You can see it's crystallized on the outside, but
Yes.
yep, it has the cork.
I'm so happy because see, you got people right there that are already doing it.
And then
Some,
this is my spoon.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. And they used to make Gatorade like that, and then people complained that it was too salty. So then they
I
put
do have a
sugar in it.
question about the wells at Manitou. Do you alternate what well you're getting it from, or do you pick a particular well that you like?
Well, the one I like is the one over by Sunwater Spa. There's one over there I can tolerate the taste. Some of them I just can't drink. I just I
The
can't do
one
it.
that's in the wall or the one that's down on the corner across from the tea place?
Um, the
I
one,
believe it's the one that's in the wall.
The one that's in the wall is the one that everybody likes for lemonade. And then
Mhm,
there's another one that's more effervescent that's by
mhm.
the roundabout.
yeah, no, this one is like, and I because I'm not picturing either one of the. I'm just saying, right across from Sun Water Spa, so it's on the back side of
I
Main
think it's
Street.
that one. Okay.
Yeah, very cool.
Yep.
Well, thanks, y'all. There's a lot of information, but we really wanted to share with you. And then just a really quick, as far as how often do you add the salt? Um, if like when I use the rock salt, I haven't changed this forever for a couple of years because it just keeps lasting. But when you use just the regular salt, I would just use it all and then make some more.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a real quick note, as Regina had mentioned, I'm going to be putting some classes out there for fermentation and some other methods, some natural methods and things like that. So if you all signed up, I'll get that list, and then I will send you all an invitation. It may be live. We may do it on Zoom. I'll let you know for sure. But I'd like to invite all of you. Mhm.
All right. Yay.
All
Thank
right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis and Michelle, for this wonderful information. Please join me in thanking them with hearts, clapping, whatever you want to do to show our appreciation. Before we close, we will love your feedback, and I'm thinking maybe requesting this session again as a 2-hour session. That would be great. So the link for the evaluation is going to be in the chat. Please help us fill it out, give your comments, show also your love and appreciation for our wonderful speakers today. We'll stop the recording.